Hey, it's Dave with Things You Develop. Today I'm talking about this Rollei A110. I have to do this at least one time. This is a 110 film format camera. Alright, so getting right into it. This is the Rollei A110. Obviously, you saw it in the little clip. The cool thing about it, or some history into it, is that this was made in 1972. There was another version called the Rollei A110, which is a later model. I'll take a picture of it here. I believe it comes in silver. That came out in 1976. This was one of the high-end cameras. I will definitely put it in the category of top tier 110 film cameras, and it's definitely the smallest 110 film camera, next to like the keychain ones. But this one has a lot of has its own focusing system, so I'd rank this Rollei 110 with the Pentax 110 and the Canon 110 ED. These all take 110 film format film here. So this is lomography Tiger film. This is what the box look like. If you were to see it online, you can still readily pick this up. And since I think it's really cool and not many people are talking about it, I definitely want to shine some light into it. I'll be posting photo examples of these images that I've taken on this roll that I've had developed recently onto the end of the video. I'll put a timestamp if you want to skip completely towards it, but I'm going to be talking about these cameras in depth, how they work, and what you need basically to get these going. So first things first, you're going to see here that it has this little battery compartment, so you push this little knob in and then pop this up and you get this little piece here. And basically what you do, it takes a 6-volt battery. I believe it originally asked for a 5.6 battery, but a 6-volt will work. I'll put in the description which one you need. It's really straightforward, but you will actually need it, unfortunately. This one will run the light meter, which is this little top piece, and it does run the shutter. A lot of people think just because you do this that the lens opens, but you can see clearly that nothing happens. So I think it's just a reflection. It should look like this here. You definitely can't see it, but trust me on it, you definitely need a battery to get that going. It does have a little port for a flash attachment. You can put photo cubes. If you want to keep it as small as possible and just shoot in complete sunshine, you'll be totally fine. To load the film, you just pop this little piece here and take it off. Let's see, you push this down and then pull it out. It does take a little bit to get used to, then it definitely comes out. The shutter is here, it's this button, and then here's the light meter. So once the battery's in, the quick way to test it is you push this button down. You can see here this little green LED, and you see it blinking. That means there's not enough light, and if you put it on, it's just a solid light like it is here, then you definitely have a proper exposure. Sunshine's totally fine. Some indoor situations you can actually get some pretty good looks. I'm going to show in the photo examples some indoor, some outdoor, and some that didn't turn out that great. Other than that, this is a really straightforward camera. The thing that did actually become an issue, or something that I was kind of freaked out about, is it's a zone meter, not a rangefinder kind of deal. So what you do here, if you look at the top, on the top here, there's this little bar that has these images. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of what they look like. If not, I'll take one myself. But basically what you do, you have a slider that goes from 3.5 feet all the way to infinity, and it has guesstimate images. So like right here in this little area, there's a picture of a man, basically like a portrait, just a person as a portrait, and then it has a group of people as the next picture, and then infinity. So you kind of have to line it up, and it did kind of scare me in a sense of like, what if I get the focusing wrong? And as long as you're close, you'll actually get a pretty good image. There's times where I nailed the focusing, and it looks really sharp. So I definitely think that's really cool. It did scare me at first, but seeing the examples, you'll be completely fine if you just go and have fun. Pretty much use your best knowledge and use the little photo examples of like 1, 2 people and infinity. This thing actually does some really good landscapes that I actually didn't expect. Takes to the beach, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I do have here this little case that I really like, that when I purchased it, you just put it here. That's a nice little protective layer. Let's see. And it fits nice and snug. Most people think when I'm taking their picture that, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a camera. It kind of just looks like some AirPods or something. You know, I should put it in my overall pocket, put it in your pocket. Pretty much cool. It does have a nice heft to it, and it does have a nice build to it. So this one feels, you know, it feels like you got your money's worth. This is a quality German-built camera. I do have the Singapore model here. This is made in Singapore. This one says made in Germany. The difference between the two that I've noticed, at least online, it doesn't say that there is, but the Singapore model has this little reflective mirror and the Germany has a regular mirror. Just little things to keep in mind. Same internal, so you won't have any issues. My favorite part about this, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut to a video of me doing it now, is how to go towards the next picture, to go to the next picture. Obviously there's no wind, there's no thing, this is super compact. So what you do to take a picture, and this is literally the coolest thing, is you open it up and you take a picture, and what you do is close it, and in that motion of opening and closing it, it'll actually push the image to the next one, and when you open it, it'll fully do it. If you don't take a picture and close it, nothing happens. It actually recognizes when nothing happens, and I think that is the sickest thing about this camera. I think there's just something cool about seeing the numbers go from left to right. I think I only have one video example of me doing it here on this phone, or this camera. The footage that I had on the other one, I had a phone that was broken, and there's a lot of footage of this, but at least I have the photo examples, which is just as good. But I love the charm of that. I love showing people that little thing, that little, basically this little function of how it works, because that's just some like crazy tier engineering that somebody in the 70s had that figured out so well, and it's still charming to this day. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna cut straight to the examples and talk about the examples and some of the pictures and some of my final thoughts at the end. Alright, so pretty much getting into it here. I am using Tiger Film by Lomography, which is still readily available. If you manage to pick up one of these cameras, know that you can pretty much get everything to get this going. You can send it off to Darkroom Lab to get your 110 film developed. Really straightforward. I really like this image. There's a ton of natural light. On this one, the light meter had said that there wasn't enough light, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway, and sure enough there was. I definitely feel like I nailed the focusing on this one, and the colors and just images really pop. Taking a nice day trip to the beach, thought I'd get some pretty cool images. The pocketable size allows me to pretty much carry it in my pocket, my jacket pocket, and have no issues. Here you can see some of the vintage tones. This is Pismo Beach, California, and I really like these landscapes. Pretty much popped it into infinity and got some really sharp shots. The viewfinder actually does a really good job of framing the images. And although it is small, the glass on the viewfinder actually makes for really simple image shots. You don't have to scramble too much thinking that it's kind of hard to see, especially in dark situations. You actually know what you're getting yourself into, which is actually quite nice. It's a quick guest appearance of my Lomography Automat, which I have a video talking about. So one of the things that I definitely have an issue with that eventually I learned to not do is rest my finger on the shutter button. Where it is relative to the small compact camera is where my index finger naturally sits, so I have a ton of accidental exposures. I know now, later in the roll, not to rest it there basically, but at the beginning I had a lot of mishaps, so something to keep in mind before you get into it. So just wrapping up here with some more photo examples. This is a camera that I really like, and it's going to be in my camera bag for a long while. I don't know, it's just something charming about showing people how it works, taking some sweet images, and just showing them to them later. Here's a really cool image that I think is really neat. This is just on the fly and really simple, really fast composing. So that's pretty much the video. Tell me what you think about this camera. This is something that I always highly recommend to people. This one will definitely be high up on the recommendation. Coming up next for 110, and I do have some exposures here already loaded, is the Canon 110 ED. And if you haven't already checked out my video, I have one on the Pentax Auto 110, which is a great camera. Fun examples and a fun video. So yeah, I think this is a great camera. Check it out. Check it out for yourself. I'm one to talk about them, but it's always fun to have it in your hand and shoot it yourself. I'm just trying to put the information out there to share to everybody so it's accessible and you know what you're getting yourself into before you pretty much dive in. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out my Instagram, Aim Shoot Develop by the same name as YouTube channel. Check out all my stuff, subscribe, all the simple stuff. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I always like talking cameras and talking things, so widely available. That's pretty much it. Keep shooting film. Take care. Peace.